It's called petroleum coke, a byproduct of oil refining. Fox 2's Amy Lang explains there's growing concern about the potential impact on the environment and, of course, on our health.
It's called petroleum coke, or pet coke. Tons of it piling up along the Detroit River. You can see it blowing in the wind. Worries it's blowing into our lungs, into the water.
What is it doing to the soil, the air, in a already very polluted area?
We have play lots and soccer teams just blocks away, and children can be exposed to this and be breathing it in.
Michelle Martinez and Gloria Rivera live in southwest Detroit. Rashida Tlaib is their state representative.
I cannot believe that the city would allow this kind of toxic kind of material near our water, near the riverbanks like that.
You probably don't even think about it when you're filling up your tank here, that the fuel is coming from this Marathon refinery in southwest Detroit, or that there's more than gasoline coming out of that facility. Petroleum coke is the byproduct of the relatively new process of tar sands oil refining. That byproduct is now, to the surprise and dismay of many, being trucked to 2 sites along the Detroit River. A Marathon spokesperson tells Fox 2 they sold the pet coke. It's now the property of Coke Carbon. Coke Carbon is part of Coke Industries, run by Charles and David Koch. The Koch brothers, well known for their financial support of Republican political candidates. But it's their petroleum coke that's now creating quite a stir. The Michigan Department of Environmental Quality tells us Detroit Bulk Storage is responsible for the pet coke. They declined comment.
You can see this stuff is piling up in the street, not just the dust, but these big chunks we found on the sidewalk. If you're breathing this stuff in, you sure want to know what's in it.
And if it's running off into the Detroit River, how harmful is that?
So what you're worried about is stormwater runoff. Is water running through the pile into the river, causing contamination issues for the river? Is there fugitive dust issues? Are we breathing something we shouldn't be breathing?
Like trace metals and hydrocarbons, U.S. Representatives John Conyers and Gary Peters have asked the Michigan Department of Environmental Quality to investigate. The DEQ telling Fox 2 the pet coke could be dangerous, and they want Detroit Bulk Storage to apply for permits regarding dust and water. One of the properties where the pet coke is being stored is owned by Ambassador Bridge owner and local billionaire Matty Maroon, but they are not involved. Their property is leased to Norfolk Southern, who has told them they are not in violation of their lease or environmental regulations. This other site is owned by the Wayne County Port Authority. The spokesperson there telling Fox 2 the property is leased to Nicholson Dock and the pet coke is being removed and shipped to Canada. The Detroit Water Department tells us the pet coke is being removed but could be stored there in the future.
We got to do something about it right away. We got to protect our public health and our environment. This is our beautiful Detroit River. It is very hard to go back and clean something up that should have never actually happened in the first place.
In Detroit, Amy Lang, Fox 2 News.